Hold on, stay there like that. Carissa, Teresa, Stephanie. You ready? What you think? I got a beast. Jessica, Andy, Stacy. Do you want to say good morning like that? Can you say it like that? Through your mustache? You're true. Fancy haircut you have, Queen Erin the Third.
What if I stayed like that for the whole show? Just silent with the coffee.
Today we're gonna make some noise, but I don't think anybody would take you seriously. But do you guys ever take us seriously?
Baby,
anyways?
You're really bringing the heat today.
Yeah, I'll keep it to myself. I got my heater right here. In case you're wondering.
Because when it drops below 55 in California, you bust out the heat.
Yeah.
Erin is morning drunk.
Ready?
I'm sleepwalking.
Good morning. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning, Dina, Ashley, Janelle, Ronnie, Tammy.
What about everybody else? Katie.
Katie.
Yeah. She's just being efficient about it, just like
Katie,
you.
efficient. Good morning, Tiffany and Josie and Katie and Jeanette and Stacy and Andrea and Sterling and Mark. And Mark. And good morning, everybody, to you. My grandma used to sing this song. It goes a little something like this. Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Is that how she woke you up in the morning?
Well, my grandma wasn't there normally in the morning.
Oh, but like, I don't know. Did you ever have like a sleepover at grandma's? Those
Well,
were the best.
No, like
Chocolate
holidays.
ice cream right before bed, Coke, no discipline whatsoever.
No, my grandma's actually killing it. She's 82. She's 82, and she races dragon boats on the coast of Oregon. It's amazing.
My grandma is killing it too. I almost think that I'm my grandma's child, to be honest.
But during like holidays, everybody would come downstairs, presents by the tree. My grandma would sing "Good morning to you."
See?
I don't know the rest of the song.
See?
That's all I know.
See, grandmas sing you morning songs to wake you up.
Can you imagine when we're
Wake
grandmas?
up, princess.
No. When we're grandmas, okay. So think about it. We're gonna always listen to the music that we grew up listening to, right?
Right.
So when we're grandmas, we're gonna be like, "Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in her." Like, grandma's lost her fucking mind.
What are they gonna sing about 40 years from now? Shit,
It's just gonna cycle around.
Yeah.
Right, the music's gonna come back like.
I think it's gonna be more electronic. People are not even gonna sing. It's gonna be robots.
A bunch of noises that sound good together.
Anyways, good morning, everybody. We're totally getting off tangent, but today's topic is going to blow everybody's mind, especially if you consider yourself to be health conscious. Okay? So now,
Crystal, it's because I need a haircut.
drop a comment real quick and tell us if you consider yourself to be like health conscious. I mean, some of you guys maybe, the rest may not. We can only assume that if you're in this group, well, you're here for a reason, right? Of course you want to improve, but who in here will consider themselves to be health conscious?
Ubaid!
What's
Hey,
up,
buddy.
Ubaid? Drop a comment or an
Health
emoji.
conscious. To be health conscious is to be semi-mindful of the types of products you buy and things you consume.
And how you treat yourself.
At least during the week.
There's a lot of degrees. Okay, so I want to be, but I'm not always good at it.
Conscious
Okay.
means you're aware, health conscious. Are you aware of what you're eating, or are you just mindfully shoveling shit into your pie hole? Or like sitting on the couch but thinking that that's good to do all the time.
Yeah. So as you can see, for the most part, you guys are, and that's amazing. However, one thing that we notice.
Whoa!
One thing that we notice that, you know, even though you're health conscious, who in here, so this is gonna require some vulnerability. So most of you guys in this room are health conscious. Now, how many of you guys are either at a point who, until you started working with us not too long ago, or are not working with us yet, and this is really not to sell you or anything whatsoever.
Hanging in the community, chilling.
Yeah,
with
if
your
you're like
homies.
hanging in the community, you're either just getting started or you didn't know who we were and you're now learning about this, or are in your journey but like still got ways to go. Who in here would consider themselves to be struggling?
Like Andrea Ramos says, I'm aware that what I'm eating is not good.
Okay, well that's step one. That's step one.
That's how I read Jajaja as a laugh. That's how that goes.
So when I mean struggling, Josie, okay, great. So struggling means it's not easy for you to make the right decisions, just so you know. So you don't have to be working with us. This is just like a continuum. So Josie, Tori, Andrea, Teresa, Dina. Okay, good. Lately, yes. Great. By the way, there's people who could be really advanced that are struggling. And today we're going to talk about why.
Look, struggle is 100% guaranteed a part of life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter how advanced you are, how like together it seems like you may have your shit. You can look at whoever you want on Instagram and think, wow, I want their life. They have it all together. I bet you they're in turmoil. Like struggle is something that everybody experiences, but what keeps you in the struggle is trying to pretend like you're not.
Mm-hmm. Sterling, that's a good answer. I have my moments.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
You know, the reason why we want to talk about that is because on the surface, right, you would think that if you are health conscious, why should you struggle, right? Because you're health conscious. But the reality is that this topic, in order to achieve success within your health journey, and what I mean by success, I mean like food freedom, being at a place where you're happy with your body, and being in a place where your body is serving you so that you have freedom to do whatever you want with your body whenever. That is what I consider success, right? It's like body, mind, spirit, everything is aligned and everything is serving you good and is working harmoniously.
I would also add to know that you can be in any environment with the confidence that you're going to take care of yourself and not have to battle the fight against food. And then I would also add on top of that, being, right, there's a physical and emotional and a kind of spiritual component.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would add also being not complacent, but content with where you're at, knowing that there's always room for improvement, but not putting yourself down or negatively self-talking. Somebody said something the other day that was like, if whatever you're saying to yourself, if you were to say that to either one of your kids or your significant other or your best friend, is that how you would talk to them? Because if that's not how
Mandy.
Because if that's not, I think it was Mandy. You're right. If that's not how you would talk to them, then don't talk to yourself that way. And that was like, I was like, that's a really great way of thinking about that. We say so many things about ourselves, like, oh, I'm ugly. Oh, my hair is stupid. Oh, oh, I'm fat. Oh, these saddlebags or whatever. And if you wouldn't say that to your best friend, then you also don't deserve that. Mandy crushed it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
So here's the thing, like, obviously there is a disconnect, right? And the intention of today is to bring awareness to the disconnect of, okay, like, if you're health conscious, like, you know what to do, right? Like, in the sense that you know that eating broccoli is gonna get you farther than eating a cheeseburger, right? Or eating like a turkey burger is gonna be better for you than eating like pizza. Do we all agree on that? Comment yes if you agree. Now, you know what to do. Yes, you could learn more about the details, but the disconnect is with regards to, though you know what to do, why are you not doing it? That is the biggest disconnect. So like literally 90% of the world, like, do you all agree that deep down, we all know that a meal with like quinoa and vegetables and let's say chicken breast or chicken thighs is gonna get us closer to our goals? Meanwhile, like cheeseburgers and fries and Coke is going to get us farther away from our goals. I don't think it takes a scientist or an expert to know that. Like, we know what real food looks like. However, why do we not follow through with that? That is the disconnect. So now, in order to connect the dots, okay, and this is why a lot of people who are health conscious struggle, and there's different degrees to where you struggle. Some people struggle in the sense that they always sabotage themselves. Some people do well for the most part, but then they have like a period of time where they don't care, right? Like where Jeanette was, for example. So why does that happen? It happens for one reason and one reason only. And that's because you're disconnected from your spiritual journey. And you haven't sought self-love. You haven't gone there yet. So like you know what to do, but you keep sabotaging because you don't love yourself. So most people get distracted with like the details. MCT oil, bulletproof coffee is better for me than whatever coffee. I'm like, tell me more. Right? Like, do you think those tiny details is what's really gonna change your life? Those tiny details matter if you're going from a 6-pack to an 8-pack. I will tell you that, that's for sure. Right? But those tiny details don't matter for the most part, because deep down, and let me get an amen if you agree, deep down, each and every one of you guys know that if you eat more vegetables and clean food instead of, binging on beer or ice cream or whatever, is going to get you closer to your goal. Do we agree? Let me get an amen if you agree, right? But why do we not do that? That's the disconnect, right? And the disconnect is because we haven't taken the time and put in the effort in order to discover ourselves. So our soul and our body feels disconnected. And the saddest thing that I see is that people out there go on and blame their body. They look in the mirror and they're like, you're fat. Like, your body's like, bitch, stop treating me like shit.
Yeah, if you think about it as like a relationship with you and your body, right? You're like your external, your physical, fleshy being, right? If it's a relationship that's never gonna leave, ever. 100% of the days that you wake up with this, right? So wouldn't you, like, if we can put it into this kind of perspective, is like, that probably is one of the best relationships that you need to have. That's probably one of the best relationships you need to nurture and take care of and treat well and respect. And I actually hadn't thought about it this way, but it is. It's a relationship, just like any other relationship. If you want to stay in a marriage, you work on it, right? Not every day is, you know, lollipops and tiptoeing, skipping through the roses, but it's work and it's worth it. So if you have to wake up with yourself every day, is it not worth it to make that relationship healthy? I wrote down something. I made a spectrum. It's going to be backwards to you, but I'll explain it. So we were saying, you know, we all do know. What? Do I have something in there?
No, I'm just trying to read your spectrum. I'm trying to look at your notes so I can copy.
Don't copy. The answer to number 1 is C. You're like, there is no C. Haha, bitch. Okay, so anyways, you're talking about how, yes, like most of the time we know, pretty much 100% of the people know that eating some kind of lean protein and vegetables is going to be better than donuts and pizza. However, there is a team of people that are against you. They are against us. Their job is to get us to think that the things that we're eating are good so that they can make money. It's called the food industry.
And the FDA.
And the FDA. So I made a little spectrum here where there's really healthy food. Well, it's going to be backwards too. There's really healthy food on one side of the spectrum, which we all know, right? Vegetables, you know, lean meats, eggs, things like this, right? Fruit, yeah. Then there's the really not healthy, which we all know also is not good for us, right? Pizza, well, I mean, you can even make a good pizza, but like, yeah, fast food,
pizza, Papa John's,
Hot Pockets,
Pop-Tarts,
pot pies, ice cream, right?
Low-fat ice cream.
No. That falls in the middle of the spectrum.
This is good.
Not low-fat ice cream. Over here, full-fat Tillamook, baby. Tillamook ice cream, the shit. Right here, that peanut butter chocolate. Okay? Then in the middle of the spectrum, we have FDA's bullshit. Low-fat, fat-free, gluten-free, you know, low sodium, Cheerios that'll improve your cholesterol, fat-free licorice,
honey bunches of oats, granola.
Yeah, granola. You guys get the point, right? Low-fat ice cream, sugar-free, no sugar added, no
33% less sugar.
Protein. What are those green juices that are just like so shitty? What's the brand?
Oh, Naked.
Naked. It's green juice. It's healthy. Right? And so many people fall into this category, and a lot of times it's not your fault. If you do a bit of research, or if you find the right group of people who do know what the fuck is going on, then amazing, because then you get to learn. But this is where the trickery happens, and this is where sabotage ends up happening, because health conscious is the people who live in the middle. You're health conscious. This is totally not even the topic that we wrote. It's now becoming health consciousness.
I know, I love it, but you're defining health conscious.
But that is how we end up getting so unhealthy. We're conscious, we're doing our part to thinking that we're doing well, because we're being advertised crap.
We have a good intention.
Yes. And then because of that though, and because of their sugar in everything, then you get addicted. And so then you kind of fall to that really unhealthy food end of the spectrum. And then you wonder why you have a sugar addiction or a problem with sugar. It's because you were misled.
It's their goal to make you addicted to sugar. You know why?
They want you to buy more.
Yeah.
They want you to make it rain, baby.
It's called lifelong consumer. So are they going to hire scientists to find a bliss point where it's sweet enough to make you love it, but not too sweet where it doesn't taste overwhelming like Coca-Cola? Actually,
no, even Coca-Cola.
I know.
It's like they have to make it sweet enough for you to really want more, but not too sweet to where it's overwhelming, right? So the amount of sugar and fat in a ratio with one another, they do tests, right? To find that point. And they legitimately serve, I saw, there was an article, I think somebody posted it on the Inner Circle or like a short video or whatever. It was like Campbell's Soup was testing a tomato soup, and they literally had a wall, people behind the wall with survey pieces of paper. They would put the soup through the little opening at the bottom, right? There's like a little thing, and they would put the soup through it with a spoon. They would taste the soup, then they would rate it. Then they would give the soup back, then they would taste another one. Same tomato soup, they just adjusted the proportions of everything, and then they would grade it, right? And so then they take all of that data, and they then put that product out on the shelves. Say, this is what people are gonna love the best and wanna come back for the most.
And to take it one step further, this is now getting into like a social and like socioeconomic topic too. Who do you think is being tested for that? Do you think it's like the upper class? It's the lower to middle class, because they're like, oh, free food.
Free food or anything that I can do to get money. I don't care if it means putting like unknown things into myself.
So it's really crazy. Like, once you really understand like the details of how the industry works, you will become mind blown with regards to how brainwashed our society is and how like deeply we are all immersed in it. And that's why, for one, it's your duty and obligation to know this. But it really does, but the reality is like, in order for you to change your life, it's not necessary to sweat the small stuff. It's really not. Like, deep down, each and every one of you guys know that eating a salad for lunch is going to be better than eating a cheeseburger. However, you need to take it one step further and know that the dressings that you buy at the store most likely have added sugar, right? So like, you need to invest your time in learning the things that matter, so that you actually have like real information and not manipulated information. Just because a lot of people know a lot of things, but they know a lot of manipulated information.
I remember it reminded me when Trump said, I have a really good brain and I've said a lot of things.
Yeah. So however,
go.
The next point is that knowing this detailed information, like, I know that at least each and every one of you guys know somebody in your life right now who knows all the inside scoops about like food stuff, but still they look average or sub-average. And I'm not saying it to sound mean or anything, but you know what I mean when I say look average. It's not like, when they go to the grocery store or the gym, it's like they get stopped by everybody because like they just get asked, what do? Do you compete? Like, I'm not saying this to brag, but like whenever Erin and I like are in public, we always get stopped and asked, what do you do? Right? Because we look like we're up to good things based off of what our body does, right? But so many people know all this information, yet they still don't even look halfway like they're doing anything. Why is that? That's because your food is not the problem. It's your lack of self-love that's the problem. And that's why there's a really big disconnect with health conscious people who struggle to lose weight.
Crystal said I've totally participated in one of those paid studies for sweet tea.
See?
Yeah, dude.
See?
You're like, I want some fucking free sweet tea. Yeah, dude, I'll do a piece of paper for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good.
So, you know, if you're not health conscious, then your step one is to learn discipline. You need to learn to discipline yourself, right? So it's like, and discipline does not mean go to the gym and do 2 hours of cardio, because if you're not disciplined, then you're going to be way too overwhelmed by that. You need to start small, right? Like as small as, like, pick one thing in your life that's not even related to nutrition, right? Like maybe start going to bed at like 10 minutes before I do. Or
10 minutes before
I normally do. Or or maybe have a glass of water before every meal. Like something so small.
That you can just do all the time.
Right. Like that's if you're like further along the spectrum of like, I don't know anything, I don't give a shit about anything, but I need to make a change. Normally, those are the kind of people who are so resistant to making a change anyways. But for them, their step one would be to build discipline. However, if you're health conscious and you don't look like a badass wherever you walk, though you know deep down that you are, your biggest disconnect is not your lack of information with regards to food, but rather your lack of self-love to yourself. Because you keep on self-sabotaging.
At that point, it's a feeling of badassery. Because what you think of badass and what somebody else thinks of looking badass might be different. But what you feel on the inside is the only thing that matters. So if you know that somewhere in there, the badass is lurking, but it's trapped in a cage, jiggling the bars, trying to get out, and you're doing everything you can to set it free.
What?
What was it? I totally lost my train of thought. How embarrassing.
She lost her train of thought. I don't know what to say.
I was congratulating myself for my amazing visual.
You were too busy congratulating yourself. The visual went away. So remember the spectrum, you guys, and like think about where you're at along the spectrum. Are you like more towards the lower end where you're like, I just did not take care of myself. I need to learn the basics. Yeah. That's where, to be honest, most of the country is there. Like, they just treat their body like crap. They did not even care. But if you're watching this show and if you're in our community, then there's a greater chance that you're farther along the continuum, and you're along the continuum of health conscious. You're more of the health conscious kind of person. And for some reason, like, you've been on a constant diet for the past 20 years. And you're like, why? Why? It's because food is not your problem. Self-love, or lack of thereof, is your problem. And either way, regardless of where you're at in the continuum, it's a journey. It's a journey for all of us. Right? So you need to identify yourself where along in the journey you are, and what is the one thing that you need to focus on. Remember, we talked about it yesterday. Don't focus on so many things at once. That's why all those New Year's resolutioners, come on. How many people do you know in your life who come January 1st?
Or how many years have you been this person?
Yeah.
You're right, I'm going to get it.
2020, my year, new decade, new me. What happened? Like come January 14th. Or you know what? You were good in January. February, coronavirus hit us.
Uh-oh.
Coronavirus. I'm going to start drinking wine and eat cookies.
I was doing really well, and then all this coronavirus stuff happened.
The riots. Right? Like...
Hey, by the way, like these are real things, and we get it that we for sure understand and acknowledge the real adversities that are happening.
Yes.
But what we're trying to point out is the fact that it's not an excuse for you to begin eating differently. Yes, there was a period of time too where food was kind of weird in the stores. You know,
oh my gosh.
And we've kind of like balanced out now. However, there's always ways to make it work, as long as, for one, you have the right education, two, you have the right attitude, and three, you don't make excuses.
Yep.
Yep.
But it's when you don't love yourself, it's easy to not take ownership.
Yeah. It's easy to blame
to blame the weather, to blame the economy, to blame whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Your life happens because of you, not to you. Right? It's so much deeper than just like nutrition. Nutrition is fucking boring and it's simple. And if you've ever worked with us, you realize that in week 1. The nutrition is simple. It's those mental blocks. Those are hard.
Weight loss is easy. Changing you
is hard. Yeah, because it requires vulnerability.
Yep, and we have these self-destructive habits, and oftentimes we don't even realize that
we have them.
Yeah.
Right.
We see the destruction, but we don't understand why. And if you don't understand why, you have no idea how to move forward. So own
wherever
all
you're
of
at.
Yeah, all of the decisions that you make, all the decisions that you make, where you're currently at. Be okay with that, but no, this is my chance to move forward. I am where I am. It's all good. You know what? Everything at this point in my life has happened for a reason. I am in the position that I'm in for a reason, even if it's not the position you ideally would want to be in. Don't be an idealist, be a realist, right? And understand this is where I am, and that's all right. For some reason, this is where I'm supposed to be, but damn it, I'm going to move forward now to where I want to be, right?
Amen to that.
Self-love is confusing to me because I realize it takes time, but no one tells you what road to take. Yeah, there's no rule book on life, right? And because we're all unique individuals and we all love differently, your self-love is going to feel, though the actions and the words and the affirmations and the things may be the same, you're going to love how you know how to love yourself. I don't know if that made sense, but in my mind I was thinking about the 5 love languages and how we're all a bit different.
Yeah,
so however you love yourself is going to be you have the ability to love yourself more than anybody else in the world because you know how you love to be loved. Isn't that a crazy concept? Like, you have the greatest understanding of what makes you feel love, yet you are probably one of the farthest, I can't even say this, but at some point in our journey, we so easily become the most distant from ourselves in regards to love. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. I don't know.
And here's the thing, by the end of the day, we always say this, and you probably heard us say it like 100 times already. How you do anything is how you do everything.
I've been really thinking about that.
And that's why, like, self-love is so important. Because guess what? I can guarantee you that somebody who's unhappy in their body is for sure unhappy in their marriage. Chances are that they're probably single, or they're like either in an average marriage, sub-average marriage, or maybe on their way to divorce. And here's the thing, you guys, that's why the divorce rate is so high. People get married before having learned how to love themselves. How can you love somebody else if you haven't loved yourself? Yeah. That's why dogs are always so happy, because they know how to love. And that is like their first priority. So we get distracted with nonsense.
I think this is, so we've said for a very long time, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'm going to, for the first time, publicly challenge that thought.
Okay.
Because I think this is a perfect opportunity for it. Now, it's the thought behind how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And I think it's the intention. I think it's the intentions that you have. And I think mentally, so here's what I think. I don't do some things how I do other things, because if I don't like doing that thing, I'm definitely not going to do it the same way as I do something that I love. So let me think of an example.
But I already have an answer to challenge that.
Okay.
It's the intention behind it.
But
you're not gonna love it, but you're still gonna do your best, because this is what you're like. When it comes down to core values, you're going to approach every situation with the same core values.
So then it becomes a matter of do your best at everything, right? But here's the thing. Let's say something's not a priority to me, I'm not going to spend a lot of time and effort and energy putting my best into it if it's not a priority.
But here's the thing, right? If it's not a priority for you, you're not going to spend your energy on it.
But here's what I'm saying.
What?
This is the connection that I want to make, is that oftentimes you don't make yourself a priority.
Right.
So you don't do you how you would do other things,
right,
that are a higher priority.
And you see that all the time. Really successful people.
Right. So what I say is there's two sides to every coin. And I will keep saying that. It's because even how you do anything is how you do everything. There's two sides to that coin.
But here's the thing. My challenge to that is, though let's say you're great at what you do in your career, but like your body is average, right? I can guarantee you that though you're a genius at this thing, you can be better because your relationship with yourself is not complete.
Yes. So take the example of our car. I'll let you guys know right quick. The car that we have, you can't even drive it, to be honest. Like, we're doing really well for ourselves, but if you looked at our car, you would think otherwise. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. I'm taking care, like how I'm taking care of myself is not how I'm taking care of my car, because I don't care. It's not a priority. Right? So that doesn't mean that my intention is bad. It's just that thing is not a priority for me. I'm not going to put, if I need to drive it, I'll do the bare minimum to drive it. Because it doesn't matter to me. But when it comes to myself, because I am a priority, I'm going to put whatever I can into that, right? So, yes, so then you could take the example of like cleaning, let's say, right? If you half-ass cleaning, then that is that's where I think of how you do anything is how you do everything, right? Like, it's my intention of putting my all into that thing because I have spent my energy on it, but also I care about it. I don't know if this is making any sense. Is this making sense to you guys? I'm actually just verbally trying to work it out.
I will still challenge you because it's the intention behind it. How you do anything is how you do everything, like 100%.
But would you agree with the car example?
But you know that if we had to go and drive that car, we're gonna like put our time and effort into it like we do for everything else. It's just not a priority for us, and therefore we don't.
I disagree. The mirror is hanging off the side.
Because we don't care about it.
So we're not going to take care of it the same way.
Right.
So how you do one thing is not how you're doing that thing.
Because it's not a priority.
I guess yes. So I get where you're coming from is if you're going to do something, you do it. And if you're not going to do something, then you're not doing it. So how you do anything. It's how you do everything. And if you're not doing it because it's not a priority, then it kind of takes it out of the equation, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay,
like it doesn't matter.
I get it. Look, this is a real life conversation, and we don't practice these. And this is me brain vomiting out of my face to try to understand this.
But basically what I mean by that is your relationship with food, I can guarantee you, signifies your relationship with yourself, which signifies the quality of your relationship with other people in your life, which signifies the quality of your life. I don't, like, please, anybody who wants to challenge me, come on, like, challenge me. I'm so stoked about it because from my experience of studying myself and others, I have every single way to back my reasoning up. How you do anything is for sure 100% how you do anything. There's
always two sides to a coin, but
Great.
It is the concept.
Great. So look, you guys, identify yourself along the spectrum where you're at, right? If you're health conscious or consider yourself to be somewhat of that, then your biggest struggle is loving yourself. You just haven't taken the time to really figure out who you are, and that's why you don't love yourself, right? So you waste your time blaming your body, blaming Hashimoto's, blaming all these things. Meantime, your body's like, you're just not paying attention to me, so I'm gonna fuck you up.
At the end of the day,
it's a two-way street.
At the end of the day, it comes down to priority.
Right.
So this is what I'm recognizing too, is if I have to do something I don't want to do, I don't do it as well. Or if it's something that doesn't matter. Now, the point of me saying that again is to make yourself matter. If you are a priority, you will treat you with the best of intentions, and you will give you the time that you need. You will invest in what you need to invest in with your energy, with your money, with your time. And you will treat yourself like you matter just as much as the next most important person in your life.
Just like your car, just like your dog. People will spend tens of thousands of dollars on their dog. But then when it comes to spending on themselves, it's like, I want the cheapest, fastest route.
Guess what? If you're not here, what happens to dog?
Right. But I don't blame you. It's because you don't love yourself. You don't find yourself valuable enough.
Well, how do we find value in ourselves?
That's for another topic. We're going on way too many tangents. So here's the thing, you guys. You already know that we're here to help, and that's why we do this show. If you found any form of value in today's video, do us a favor and please share it with the world. As you guys know, we are on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, and lifestyle habits that have transformed ours. Nothing will stop us, not the FDA, not the government, not haters. I don't even care. Nothing is gonna stop us because our mission is so big, because we've experienced all of it and we just see it differently, and we know that it is our duty and obligation to get you guys straight. Not that kind of straight.
Not that kind of straight.
But I mean, come as you are. But, you know, our mission is really to get you guys straight and tell you the truth. But here's the thing. For one, it's up to you to identify what is the real truth, right? But if you're like, man, they spoke to my soul, or I learned at least one thing today, then please take 5 seconds out of your time. 5 seconds out of your time. We've invested 50 minutes in you today. Just 5 seconds. Share this. Tag us in it. Okay, and then invite people to be a part of this community. We can only make this impact with your help. And of course, we want to help you, and having you here is amazing. Right now, we have 35 people in the room live. Thank you for listening to us. We truly appreciate it. However, imagine how much more change and impact we can make collectively as a community if we had 350 people watching this right now. If you could share it. Imagine. I want this to go to the FDA. For some really miserable person to call me out and say, we need to have a meeting, you're being very rude and disrespectful to the government. Come on. Take it. Come on, you guys, like this is our obligation and it's your obligation too, to share the truth with the world. And if you won't, then guess what? Your families are still going to be disrespected. Your families are still going to be bought into bullshit, and you're going to be spending your time and your energy and your money on lies, Do you want the truth or do you want to lie? That's up to you. Okay, I'm done. So,
You made it so hot in here, my armpits are sweaty.
I know, I'm sweating too. And I turned off the
I
heater.
showed them.
I'm so passionate about this. Like, I feel so strongly about this because my greatest fear in life is to get sick or just to not live my best life. Like, dude, like if we were to live 10 more years, that's only 3,000 more days. Like once you realize how limited your time is, you're like, shit, I have no choice but to do everything that I can to live my best life. Because what's the point of living stressing about all these like nonsense? I mean, come on. All we need is love. And that's why the world right now is crumbling, because people don't love one another. And I can't blame them for not loving one another. Like, you can't love somebody else if you don't love yourself. Amen. That's where it all starts. Amen. It all starts right here in your heart. But if you don't take the time to love yourself, you're going to waste your entire life hating on people, hating on the weather, hating on your job, hating on whatever. How you do anything is how you do everything. Come on. So please, if you found any value in today, share it. Tag us, invite as many people as you can to this group who you know.
Anyone and everyone. We have one religion and we have one race. Bring them all.
Yeah. Bring him. Also, we want to reward you for that, and that's why we got the community challenge.
Who wants to win some free shit?
Yeah. If you want to win some free stuff, we want to give it to you. We want to reward you for taking your time to share these videos, and we want to reward you for taking your time to invite as many people as possible, because our mission is so big, and it should be your mission too. If you're like, man, this is the truth, it should be your mission too. So please, let us reward you. First place is going to win the X Endurance Lean Plus, right? And a coaching call. Second place is going to win a coaching call. We want to provide you with as much value as possible for helping us to spread this mission, because we know that that's what the world needs. And guess who's bigger? Is the FDA bigger than us, or is this community bigger than us? Only when this community gets bigger than the FDA, then we really make like a huge impact. But we need your help in order to get there. Erin and I are going to keep fighting and showing up for you guys anyways.
Till death.
But if you can help us to get bigger than the FDA, then guess what? That's when we're really now like going to change the world.
That's a very audacious goal.
Yeah, very. We don't care.
We ain't scared.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
I guess like it's the concept of momentum and compound, right? So many of you don't know, we've actually owned our business for over 2 years now. And y'all just now are starting to know, but what's happened in those last 2 years is a shit ton of grinding. And that, like, if you've been in our community for the last, like, 60 days or so, you've seen this, like, uptake, is that the right word? Or like inflow of more people, and it's only going to get more. Now, part of that is because of you. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. But also, let's do the damn thing and save people from this like middle of the spectrum misery that other people are pushing out onto the world.
And also, just a reminder, because health issues, because of the FDA, are becoming such a socio-economic thing, we're going to start talking about finances starting tomorrow. On Wednesdays, we're going to start talking about money, because people are not educated about the most important things in life, and that is your health and your money, both of which are required for freedom. Wouldn't you all want to be financially free? If you're not financially free, every day you're going to wake up, you're going to stress about money. And most of the time, people lose sight of their health and their love and their loved ones because of money, because of this scarcity mindset that money is going away, that I'm never gonna have enough money, that I don't have too much money. So we want to teach you guys like the basics of life, because this is about freedom by the end of the day. This is about you gaining physical freedom and about you gaining financial freedom, because you deserve to live your best life. And until you have both of them, you're just not gonna be free.
So, two things. For one, nobody in here is going to get weird about money. Money is an exchange, a currency exchange for things that we want or need, right? So, for one, don't get weird about money. We're going to talk about money. Everybody wants more money. Now, if you don't admit that you want more money, you need to get honest with yourself, because money is not about greed. Money's about opportunity to experience life. Most people want more money so that they can do epic shit that they remember. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, if we're being honest, like when you think of chilling on a beach in Bali or hanging out in an infinity pool at your sick ass hotel in Thailand, like, wouldn't that be an amazing experience? Guess what you need for that? Money.
But
right?
Here's the thing too. Your relationship with money is going to also dictate your relationship with your health.
But what I'm saying is money provides opportunity,
yeah,
and money relieves stress if you know how to work it. And what was the other thing I was going to say?
We're not taught how to work it.
We didn't get, yeah, I have, my story is amazing with money. Or not, I don't know. I think every story is amazing. But, you know, the way that you can, going back to win the Community Builder Challenge, first and second place, we need you to share this video and tag us in it. And then we also need you to go to our Facebook business page. What was it?
No. Just invite people.
Oh, invite people. I was mixing up two separate things, something that we did a while ago.
Share this video if you found it valuable. Tag us, okay? So, like, because if you just share it without anything, like, that's how the human brain works, you guys. Nobody's gonna care about it. They're just gonna keep scrolling through the feed, right? Like, wouldn't you? Right? So it's about you doing it right, not just doing it. It's the intention that counts. And then invite as many people as possible. You guys, this is a quest for freedom. You're in the right place if you're watching this right now. But let's good things are meant to be shared. Just like a good meal, right? Would you want to go to like a nice ass restaurant without a date? No. Good things are meant to be shared. So please share the love. Let's spread the love.
I have another example. Would you like to buy organic without worrying that it's 30 cents more? That costs money, right? So anyways.
All right, you guys, that's all we got for you for today. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about money. So if you're going to be uncomfortable with it, that's okay. That means that you need to work on it. And we're going to teach you how.
Let's get more money.
Let's go.
All right, guys.
Love you guys. Have an amazing day.